Hey everybody, this is Erica, and I will be discussing with you guys my discussion post number 4. And for this post, we were asked a series of questions pertaining to the class and our readings. And the first question is, what are your feelings at this point in the class towards the assigned readings, the speakers, and the video showed in class? And my feeling so far is very, I guess, I don't want to say uncomfortable because I'm happy with what I've learned, but it does make me uncomfortable that all of these things are being brought up, I guess, all at once. And like I'm dealing fine with it and everything, don't worry. But it makes me uncomfortable to think that for so long I've been kind of sheltered under this umbrella of white privilege, and it's something that I guess I've taken for granted. I'd never really appreciated. I'm from a small little town in eastern rural Ohio, predominantly white all the way around. Like, I've never felt what it's like to really be discriminated against. And it's not that I want to feel discriminated against, but I don't have that ability to kind of understand. And it really bothers me that all these little things kind of like build up and they're really hurtful. From some of the videos, especially that I've seen this week, to hear about microaggressions, how at one point outward racism was really prevalent, but now it's more of like a hidden microaggressions that Sue was talking about in his video. And it was like the man who was of Hispanic descent was speaking to someone else, some white guy, and the white guy was like, wow, your English is really good. When in reality, this man, even though he was Hispanic, he had lived in the United States like his whole life. And like, yeah, he can speak good English. Like, that's his language. Like, he's been speaking it his entire life. He may not even know Spanish. Because he's been raised in the United States and he's not from a Spanish speaking home. So it's really like, yeah, that's insulting. And even though some people might not realize that they're being insulting, they are. And I don't know, it's made me really aware. It's made me kind of see things from a different perspective, and it makes me uncomfortable to think that other people are kind of, they deal with this every day, and it's sad. And I really think that more people should learn that to be more aware, to be more respectful towards other people, to understand that we're all equal, but at the same time, we're all different, and we deserve to be treated the way that we expect to be treated. Um, Share at least one thing that you've learned from this class, and how has it been important to you? Since I am from rural Ohio, a predominantly white area, predominantly Christian, everybody kind of has the same like worldview. We're I wouldn't say we're small-minded, but in a way, we're not open-minded at all. Um, I know we had one openly gay guy that I can think of in our community, and a lot of people acted really negatively towards him. I mean, I loved him to death. He would come, we'd have sleepovers at my place all the time, but not many people accepted him, and it was really something like hush hush. You don't really talk about it. So to especially be exposed to a speaker who openly speaks about it, and people within our class who are involved in LGBTQ community and are very open to talking about that, is really good for me because I've never been exposed to it, and I just keep learning things, especially like pronouns. I would have never known that the word homosexual is something that people who have different genders other than male or female is a word that they don't like. I would have never in a million years thought that. And now I'm like, okay, like I understand where you're coming from now, even though I'm heterosexual, and I don't find that offensive. Like, I'm not the same as everyone else, and I don't have the same values and opinions as everyone else. And I'm the type of person that I want everybody to get along. I want to make whoever I'm speaking to happy and everyone around me happy. And if I accidentally offend somebody, that would really like, I would feel horrible for them, but I'd also feel bad as a person, like, oh wow, like I'm really sorry, and I know you shouldn't dwell on things that bother you, but I do. It's natural for me. After reading The Racial Identity, answer the question, who am I? Well, I'm a white female, and normally people notice my darker skin and they're like, oh, do you have Native American in you? And I'm just like, no, I'm just white. Um, as I mentioned earlier, I've always kind of been sheltered under this um, umbrella of, oh, you've never really had to, I've never had to think about being singled out because of the color of my skin. I've never had to be um, afraid to go somewhere. I mean, as a woman, yeah, like there's that fear, like if I'm going on a run or something, that like a man could overpower me, but that's not the whole racial identity thing. Um, I was reading in the book, and one of the stories in the book said that the guy got defensive when he was asked if he was white. He was like, no, I'm Italian. And like, I've said I'm Italian before, but it was really interesting because as I was reading the book, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm Italian, but do I really know a lot about the culture besides the fact that I like Italian food and I drink wine? Then I really thought about it. I was like, I guess I don't. Um, I just tell people I'm Italian because I have dark hair and darker skin. So that was kind of eye-opening to me too. I was like, wow, I guess if I really want to say I am, I should really appreciate it more and look into it more. Um, how does everything you've learned in this class impact your life personally and professionally? And I kind of discussed that earlier, how it relates to me as a fact of where I'm from, um, how when I interact with people now, that I'll be more aware of differences that we all have. Be aware that what I value may not be something that someone else values, and that even though we're all equal, we are all different. And I need to respect that and be more aware of it with everyone that I interact with. How do I plan to use what I learned in this class? That kind of pertains to the last thing I just answered, as far as being more aware. I honestly feel like if more people were taught these concepts and discussed with, because everybody wants to push, I feel like almost everything we discussed in this class, like under the rug. We don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to talk about this. But in reality, it's really important, and I think it needs to be talked about for us to all truly understand each other. And I'm not saying that it will make everything better, but it'll make everything more clear. So I wish I had pretty pictures to show you guys, and like I was good at like making videos and all this stuff to make like sound effects and everything, but I have no idea how to do that, and every time I try to, it doesn't work out. So this is all I got. Thanks.